Hello, future engineers and subscribers. In this video, I'm going to present problems and solutions to particles or objects in equilibrium. So, because we treat objects or problems in this video as particles, then they are concurrent, supposedly, and there are two cases. One is coplanar concurrent for system in equilibrium, and the other one would be the uh, concurrent in general, concurrent for systems in space. So to inspire you with the solutions to the problems, if it is a coplanar concurrent for system in equilibrium, there are two equations of statics, namely summation forces x 0 and summation forces y 0. The x and y components of the resultant must be 0 because the objects are in equilibrium. Then there must be only two unknowns in its problem for coplanar concurrent for systems in equilibrium where we treat objects as particles. Then if it is a concurrent for system in 3D space, then the third component of the resultant RZ should also be 0. So for that case, there will be three unknowns. So, and of course, you have to provide correct, accurate free body diagrams to the success of the analysis. So remember, if it is a tension force, the arrow should be pointing away from the point of application, and a compressive force, it is acting at the point of application. So for this first problem taken from the book by Bedfords, the inclined surface is smooth. The 100 kilogram crate is held stationary by a force T applied to the cable. So draw the free body diagram of the crate, and B, determine the force T. So for a surface that is smooth, the reaction should be perpendicular to that surface. And remember that the angle between the normal line and the vertical line is also this angle of inclination. So it will be presented here. So we have the tension, and this is the weight, the force or the weight that is directly applied on this body here. So it is mass 100 times G, pull of gravity 9.81 meters per second square. This is the normal reaction which is perpendicular to the surface. So that's why the angle between that normal axis and the vertical is also equal to this angle of inclination 60 degrees. So this is the free body diagram. To solve for T, independent of this normal force, so because this is frictionless, we have to sum up forces along the t-axis or tangential axis. So t is, if we treat t as positive, then it is t, then the tangential component of the weight, which is in this direction opposite to 60. So t minus 100 times 9.81 sine of 60 degrees equals 0. So t minus 100 times 9.81 sine of 60 degrees equals 0. Solving for t, t is equal to 849.6 Newton. So this is the FBD, and for part B, this is the value of t. Then we proceed to the next problem. The 1,200 kilogram car is stationary on the sloping road. If alpha is 20 degrees, what are the magnitudes of the total normal and friction forces exerted on the car's tires by the road? Then part B, the car can remain stationary if the total friction force necessary for equilibrium is not greater than zero point 0.6 times the total normal force. So what is the largest angle for which the car can remain stationary? So take note that there are four wheels of this car. So that's why the normal force, there's normal force on the front wheels and on the rear wheels. So the general normal force, we'll just put it here, and it is normal, so perpendicular to this inclined surface, but there is friction which resists motion, so it is going up. And the car's weight is 1,200 times G, 9.81. This is the normal axis. The total normal force is directed in that direction. Friction force opposite to the direction of motion, so it should be up to the left, because the tendency of this car, if it moves, if it is not held by friction, would be to slide down. And this is the tangential axis. So if alpha is 20 degrees, what are the magnitudes of the total normal and friction forces? For the normal, we simply sum of forces along the normal axis, and it is NT. The normal component of the weight is going in the opposite direction, and it is negative 1,200 times 9.81 adjacent to alpha, so times cosine of alpha, which is 20 degrees. So this is the resultant between the total normal force and the total frictional force. The weight, the reaction between NT and F should be equal to the weight, and these should be collinear if this car remains in equilibrium. So that's why this must also be alpha, the angle of inclination, and it is the angle formed between the vertical and this total normal force. So back to determining the total normal force, summation forces normal equals 0. So normal n sub t, then minus 100 times 9.81 cosine of 20 degrees equals 0. So we can now solve for the total normal force, and it is equal to 11,062 newtons. Then for the total frictional force, we simply sum up forces along the tangential axis, and it is F. This is the component of the weight parallel to the tangential axis. So it is 1,200 times 9.81 sine of alpha, then minus F. So we treat 1,209.81 sine of alpha in that direction, in the direction of t. So that's why I treat it as positive. Then F should be negative, equals 0. So F is 4,026 newtons. For part B, the car remains stationary only if the total frictional force necessary for equilibrium is not greater than zero point 0.6 times the total normal force. So what is the largest angle alpha for which the car remains stationary? So for the normal force, total normal force, again, it is in general mg cosine of alpha. So NT is minus mg cosine of alpha is 0. So NT is mg cosine alpha. Likewise, this total frictional force is equal to mg sine of alpha. And as stated here, it should not be greater than zero point 0.6 times the total normal force. So F, which is equal to mg sine alpha, should be less than zero point 0.6 times the total normal force. So F should be less than zero point 0.6 times the total normal force. So F is from part A, it is in general mg sine alpha, and NT is mg cosine alpha. So mg sine alpha should be less than equal to zero point 0.6 times mg cosine alpha. Cancel out mg, so tangent alpha should be less than equal to zero point 0.6. So alpha is inverse tangent of 0.6, and that is 30.9. 96 degrees. So for the next problem, the 80-pound box is held in place on the smooth inclined surface by the rope AB. Determine the tension in the rope and the normal force exerted on the box by the inclined surface. So let's draw the free body diagram. So let's denote the tension here as T. So for the FBD, we have remember the surface is smooth, so the reaction should be perpendicular to that inclined surface, and that normal reaction and the vertical form the same angle of 50 degrees from each other. So this is the free body diagram. We have the weight of the box, 80 pounds. The angle between the 80-pound weight and this normal axis is also the angle of inclination 50 degrees. So that's the tension in AB. It makes an angle with the inclined plane of 30 degrees. So that's why we consider this tangential axis parallel to the inclined plane and this normal axis perpendicular to the inclined plane. So for the tension, we sum up forces tangential equals 0. The normal force has no tangential component. So it is 80 sine of 50 degrees. This component here opposite to 50. So 80 sine 50 in the direction of D. Then minus the component of D along the tangential axis is this side adjacent to 30, so minus t sine 30, t cosine 30 rather, equals 0. So summation forces tangential equals 0, 80 times sine 50 degrees minus t cosine of 30 degrees equals 0. And t is equal to 70.76 pounds. Then for the normal reaction, summation forces normal equals 0. So N, the component of the 80-pound force is adjacent to 50 in the negative direction, so minus 80 cosine 50. The component of T also is in the negative normal direction, and it is opposite of 30, so minus T 70.76 sine 30 degrees. So summation forces normal equals 0, and minus 80 cosine 50 minus t 70.76 sine of 30 degrees equals 0. So t or n is equal to 86.8 pounds. Next problem, each box weighs 40 pounds. The angles are measured relative to the horizontal. The surface are smooth. Determine the tension in the rope A and the normal force exerted on box B by the inclined surface. So we cannot determine directly the tension in A and the normal in B, normal reaction or normal force exerted on box B by the inclined surface. So the surfaces are smooth, except we first solve or analyze this body D here by computing tension C and the normal reaction at D. So let's draw the free body diagram of body D here. So the weight of body B is 40 pounds. Then it makes an angle of the normal reaction in D makes an angle with the vertical of angle of inclination 20 degrees also. So that is also 20 degrees, and the tension at C makes an angle with a horizontal of 45 degrees. So our equation would be summation forces x0 and summation forces y0. Anyway, in this FBD, there are two unknowns, ND and T sub C. So summation forces x equals 0. The horizontal component of ND is to the right and it is opposite of 20. So it is ND sine of 20 degrees. Then minus T sub C cosine of 45 degrees. Then equals 0. Because the 40-pound force is vertical. So call this equation 1. Summation forces y equals 0. The vertical component of ND is positive, upward. So ND cosine of 20 degrees T sub c is also positive. So plus T sub c sine of 45 degrees, then equals 40, and call that equation 2. Solving these two equations simultaneously, we get ND equals 31.21 pounds and T sub C 15.10 pounds. Now let's draw the free body diagram of this part B here. So we have normal reaction at B, which is perpendicular to this inclined smooth surface, and the angle it makes with the vertical is also 70 degrees by principle. Then this is the tension at C, which is 15.10 pounds, making an angle with the horizontal of 45 degrees. This is the weight of body B and the tension T sub A directed as shown. So summation forces X equals 0. So NB sine of 70 degrees minus TA cosine of 70 degrees. Then plus, so NB sine 70 minus TA cosine 70 degrees. Then plus 15.1 T sub C cosine 45, then equals 0. So forming equation 1, NB sine 70 degrees minus T sub A cosine 70 degrees equals negative 10.68. Call that equation 3. Summation versus Y equals 0. NB is upward, so positive NB cosine 70 degrees. Then TA is also upward, so plus TA sine 70 degrees. Then equals vertical component of the sub C 15.1 sine 45, then plus 40. Simplifying, NB cosine of 70 degrees plus T sub A sine 70 degrees equals 50.68, and call that equation 4. Solving equations 3 and 4 simultaneously, we get NB 7.298 pounds and tension A 51.28 pounds. So that's it for this problem. Problem 5. A 10-kilogram painting is hung with a wire supported by two nails. The length of the wire is 1.3 meters. So part A, what is the tension in the wire? And part B, what is the magnitude of the force exerted on each nail by the wire? So we have the hint here that we have to assume that the tension is the same in each part of the wire. So in other words, the nails are frictionless. So the tension here is equal to the tension here and in this portion. And we have to take note that the length of this wire is equal to 1.3 minus zero point 0.4, so zero point 0.9 divided by 2 because we have two slanting parts of the wire. So 0.45. Then we can compute the measure of this angle here as shown here in this free body diagram. So because the mass of the painting is 10 kilograms, then each of the nails, this mass should be transmitted to each of the nails equally. So that would be 5 kilograms downward as shown here. So 5 times 9.81, that's why the nails react in this form Fn, the force in the nail reaction. So this angle, this length is equal to 0.45 as explained, 1.3 minus zero point 0.4, zero point 0.9 divided by 2 because we have two slanted part of the wire, 0.45. And since this is zero point 0.3 inverse cosine of, this is zero point 0.4 rather, meter. Inverse cosine of zero point 0.4 divided by 0.45 is 27.266 degrees. So we'll call this tension. That's also tension as uh, hinted in this problem. So first, summation forces y equals 0. So we have Fn cosine 27.266 degrees, then minus T sine 27.266 degrees, then minus 5 times 9.81 equals 0, or equals 5 times 9.81. So again, we have Fn cosine 27.266 degrees minus d sine 27.266 degrees equals uh, negative 5 times 9.81. Supposedly, this is the reaction here is upward. So that's upward. So supposedly plus 5 times 9.81. In other words, the weight of the mass of the painting is 10 kilograms. So this nail will react upward by 5 kilograms by symmetry. So and 5 times 9.81, that's it. So equals plus 5 times 9.81 equals 0. So equals negative 5 times 9.81. Call that equation 1. Then summation forces x equals 0. So negative Fn sine 27.6266 degrees, negative t cosine 27.266 degrees, then plus t equals 0. Combining these two, negative Fn sine 27.266 degrees, then plus 0.11111t equals 0. Solving equations 1 and 2 simultaneously, we get Fn equals 49.05 newtons and T is 202.2 newtons. Problem 6. The 20 kilogram mass is suspended from three cables. Cable AC, which is this, is equipped with a turnbuckle so that its tension can be adjusted and a strain gauge that allows its tension to be measured. If the tension in cable AC is 40 newtons, what are the tensions in cable AB and AD? So this problem is a coplanar concurrent force system. So there are two unknowns that will be addressed by the two static equations, summation versus x0 and summation versus y equals 0 to inspire you that this problem is as simple as problem in statics, of course. So the free body diagram would look as shown, and the tension in AC is 40 newtons as stated. The weight is 20 times 9.81, so 196.2. And the tensions are leveled as shown, and the angles inverse tangent of zero point 0.4 divided by 0.64 is 32.005 degrees, and inverse tangent of 0.64 divided by 0.88, zero point 0.4 plus 0.48 is 36.027 degrees. So summation versus x equals 0. We have negative TAB sine 32.005 degrees plus TAD cosine of 36.027 degrees plus 40 sine of 32.005 degrees equals 0. Simplifying, negative TAB sine 32.005 degrees plus tension AD cosine 36.027 degrees equals negative 21.20 equation 1. Summation versus y equals 0. So we have TAB cosine 32.005 degrees plus tension AD sine 36.027 degrees plus 40 cosine 32.005 degrees minus 196.2 equals 0. Combining the constant transposed to the right and simplifying, TAB cosine 32.005 degrees plus tension AD 36.027 degrees equals 162.28. Equation 2, solving equations 1 and 2 using your high-tech calculator, we get tension AB equals 144.1 newtons while tension AD is 68.20 newtons. Problem 7, the collar A slides on the smooth vertical bar. The masses MA is 20 kilograms, MB 10 kilograms. When H is zero point 0.1, the spring is unstretched. When the spring is in equilibrium, H is zero point 0.3. So 0.3 meter. So determine the spring constant K. So let's draw the FBD of A. We have the tension normal at A and the weight, which is 20 times 9.31, so 196.2. This angle, assuming this is now the equilibrium position, so H is zero point 0.3. So inverse tangent of zero point 0.3 divided by 0.25, we can measure that angle as 50.194 degrees. So summation versus y, we can solve for t, then we transmit t to this part here as shown. So take note that uh, the original position of the collar B is above when H is zero point 0.1. Then because of the weight, the spring is compressed. That's why the system is in equilibrium when H is zero point 0.3. So it is compressed. The spring is compressed. So supposedly the force is going up, but the net effect is because the spring is compressed, so it's going down, K delta S. This is now the direction of the force in the spring. So we make this positive. Delta S is zero point 0.3 minus zero point 0.1, so zero point 0.2. And since T has been found, then we can compute K. So for this FBD, summation forces Y equals 0, T sine 50.194 degrees minus 196.2 equals 0. So tension is 255.4 newtons. And in this situation, T is equal to K delta S plus 98.1, where 98.1 is 10 times 9.81. So we just treat delta S positive from the FBD. So 255.4 equals K times zero point 0.2, zero point 0.3 minus zero point 0.1, then plus 98.1. So solving for K is equal to 786.5 Newton meter. Problem 7. Suppose that you want to design a cable system to suspend an object of weight W from the ceiling. The two wires must be identical and the dimension B is fixed. That is fixed. The ratio of the tension T in each wire to its cross-sectional area must equal a specified value sigma. This is normal stress formula, force over area or tension. Tensile force over area, where area is the cross-sectional area of the wire. So the cost of your design is the total volume of material in the two wires. So that's why volume equals 2 times volume of one wire. And the volume of one wire is area, cross-sectional area of the wire, then times the length of the wire, which is square root of B squared plus H squared. So multiply it by 2 for the other wire. So that's it. This is correct. So determine the value of H that minimizes the cost. So the cost is minimum if the volume of the wire is also minimum. So let's express everything in terms of the this H here, volume in terms of this H, so that we can minimize the volume. So this is the FBD. So 2 times summation versus Y, 2 times T cosine theta equal minus W equals 0, or 2T cosine theta equals W. So that means T is equal to sigma, stress times area, then cosine theta equals W. Cosine theta, take note, is equal to H divided by hypotenuse square root of B squared plus H squared. So substitute the defined area, which is equal to W over 2 times sigma times cosine theta. Then substitute it into the formula for volume, 2 area square root of B squared plus H squared. So 2 times area, which is W over 2 times sigma cosine theta, and cosine theta is H divided by hypotenuse square root of B squared plus H squared. then times square root of b square plus h square. So cancel 2, this becomes volume equals weight over sigma, which are constants, then times square root of b square plus h square times square root of b square plus h square. So that is b square plus h square divided by h. So volume equals quantity W over sigma, then times b square plus h square over h. We can now differentiate this volume with respect to h. So we have ratio. So that is volume equal differential volume with respect to h is equal to W over sigma times quantity denominator. Derivative of numerator is 2h minus numerator b square plus h square, derivative of denominator 1 all over denominator square. So all over h square equals 0. So 0 times h square, 0, times sigma, 0, divided by W, 0. So we equate the quantities inside the brackets to 0. So 2h square minus b square minus h square equals 0. So that means h square minus b square equals 0. So h square equals b square. So extract the square root. So h equals b. So that's it for this problem. Problem 9, the system of cables suspends a 1,000-pound bank of lights above a movie set. Determine the tensions in cables A, B, C, D, and CE. So this is the figure. Let's draw the free body diagram. So we have the FBD for this part. Then after we solve for tension AB and AC, we proceed to C. And the FBD will look like that. So at A, summation forces x0, so that would be negative tension AB cosine 45 plus tension AC cosine of 30 degrees equals 0, equation 1. Then summation forces vertical equals 0, TAB sine 45 plus tension AC sine 30 degrees equals 1000. Call that equation 2. Solving equations 1 and 2 simultaneously, we get TAB 896.6 pounds, TAC equal to 732.05 pounds. Then we transmit it to C, summation forces horizontal equals 0, TCE, then minus 732.05 cosine 30 degrees equals 0. So TCE is equal to 634.0 pounds. Summation forces Y equals 0. TCD equals TAC or TCD minus 732.05 sine of 30 degrees equals 0. So TCD is equal to 366.0 pounds. Problem 10. The inclined surface is smooth. Determine the force T that must be exerted on the cable to hold the 100 kilogram crate in equilibrium, and compare your answers to the answers of problem 3.11. So there's no problem 3.11 here, but if it is suspended without the surface, then you can tell the answer. If there is only one cable, so one tension, then you can compare answers directly. So if this is the tension T, the tension on this side is also T up, then here going down tension, so here going up. So the total tension force that this body is subjected to parallel to this inclined plane or inclined surface, smooth surface, is 3T, because that is T, so 2T plus T, 3T. Then this is the weight, 100 times 9.81. Let's define this the tangential axis, normal axis, so that the normal reaction won't be involved in our solution. We sum up forces along the tangential axis 0. So the tangential component of the weight, which is mass times G, 100 times 9.81, it is opposite this component here, opposite to 60, is 100 times 9.81 sine of 60 degrees, then minus 3t equals 0. So 100 times 9.51 sine of 60 degrees minus 3t equals 0. So the tension is equal to the tension T, which is equal to tension CD, or simply tension, is equal to 283.2 newtons. Problem 11. The mass of each pulley of the system is m, and the mass of the suspended object is ma. Determine the force T necessary for the system to be in equilibrium. So this is the tension T. The tension on this side is also T. Here, T. Tension on this side is also T. So this is the FDD. So tension, as I said, here is T. That's T. T plus T upward equals 2T downward. So this is 2T upward again. So the tension here is 2T. On this side, 2T also. Then for this pulley, the tension here is 40. 2T plus 2T is 40. This is also 40. So the tension on this cable attached to A is 80. So the last free body diagram would be 80, then the weight mass of A times the acceleration due to gravity. So from the figure, summation versus y equals 0, 80 minus mag equals 0. So that means the tension is mag over 8. So that's it for this problem. Problem 12, assume that W2 is half of W1. So this is half of W1. If you don't want the tension anywhere in the supporting cable to exceed 200 pounds, what is the largest acceptable value of W1? So let's investigate each cable tensions, and the one that is the highest percentage of W1 is the one that is critical and should control the safety of this cable system. So at B, the free body diagram, by the way, is as shown. So summation forces horizontal equals 0 to relate the two. So tension BC, the this is 30 and the vertical is 4 inches. 4 inches is 20 minus 16. Then AB, 20, 30 horizontal, 20 vertical. So tension BC times 30 over square root of 30 square plus 4 square, that equals tension AB times 30 square root of 30 square plus 20 square. The horizontal component of tension BC must equal the horizontal component of tension AB, and this is it. So cosine of the angle is 30 over hypotenuse. So tension BC is equal to 0.8394 of tension AB. So based on experience, we anticipate that tension AB should be greater than tension BC because the slope of tension AB is greater than that of BC. So likewise, tension CD is greater than that of tension BC. So let's proceed. Summation forces vertical equals 0. So tension AB times 20 over square root of 30 square plus 20 square plus 0.8394 tension AB, which is tension BC, times 4 over square root of 30 square plus 4 square equals W1. So we can now express or solve tension AB in terms of W1, and it is 1.502 of W1. Then tension BC is 0.8394 of 1.502 W1. So it is less. It is equal to 1.261 W1. So next is at C, summation forces horizontal, tension CD times 30 over square root of 30 square plus 16 square equals tension BC, which is 1.261 W1 times 30 over square root of 30 square plus 4 square. hypotenuse. So tension CD is equal to 1.4166 of W1. So as I said, the one with the greatest slope is the most critical force or tensile force, which is tension AB, which has greater slope than tension CD. So that's why in this problem, if they have the same capacity like this one, 200 pounds, so it is the one with the highest slope that controls, in this case, tension AB. So 200 equals 1.501, or so 200 should be greater or equal to 1.502 of W1. So W1 should be less than equal to 133.2 pounds. So that's it for this problem. Problem 13, determine the force P required to hold the 150 kilogram crate in equilibrium. So let's have the free body diagram here. So if this is P, the tension on this side is also P, tension on this side is also P. So that P there is to be connected there, and that's P also. So if this is P and this is P, the tension here is 2P. So the tension here is 2P if you do the free body diagram of pulley C. So 2P, that's 2P, 2P also in this side and 2P on that side as shown. And since the mass or weight of the pulley is negligible in this problem, only the weight of the crate is to be considered. So the free body diagram consisting of these two tension forces equal to 4P total must equal this weight, which is 150 times 9.81. So the equation is 4P equals 150 times 9.81, or 4P minus 150 times 9.81 equals 0. So from there, P is 367.9 newtons. Problem 14, a scale is constructed with a 4-foot long cord and a 10-pound block D. This is this. The cord is fixed to a pin at A and passes over two small pulleys B and C. Determine the weight of the suspended block at B if the system is in equilibrium. So take note that this is 10 pounds. So this is the free body diagram. This is 10 pounds. So the tension here is 10 pounds, 10 pounds, 10 pounds. So for this part, we have tension 10 pounds, tension 10 pounds, and the length of this portion of the cord is equal to, the total is 4 feet. So 4 is equal to 2 times the length of this plus 1.5. So 4 minus 1.5 is 2.5 divided by 2. So this length of this part is 1.25. So that's 0.5, half of a foot. So 0.5 of a foot. Then this is 1.25. The tension is 10 pounds each. Then the length is 1.25. So this vertical distance from B to this point is square root of 1.25 square minus 0.5 square. It's up to you to compute that. And it is square root of 21 over 4 of a foot. Square root of 21 over 4 feet. Then the weight of B is WB. So from the figure, the vertical component of 10 pounds times 2 must be equal to WB. So the vertical component of 10 pounds is 10 times square root of 21 over 4 divided by 1.25. So cosine of this angle, then times 2. So 2 times 10 times square root of 21 over 4 divided by hypotenuse 1.25. So that's 10 cosine of this angle, and equals WB. So WB is equal to 18.33 pounds. Problem 15, determine the maximum weight of the bucket that the wire system can support so that no single wire develops a tension exceeding 100 pounds. So based on the figure, let's have the FBD. Since there's only one cable AB that supports at this left portion of the system, then definitely or we suspect that AB will be the most critical cable. And so we assign that its tension is 100 pounds. Then let's solve and verify that the tension in the other cables will be less than that 100 pounds. So first at B, the free body diagram would look as shown. First, we have to sum up forces vertical to relate tensions BC and BE. So TBC sine 30 degrees equals TBE times 4 over 5. So that would be the expected relationship. So TBC cos sine of 30 degrees equals TBE times 4 over 5. So that's why tension BEC is equal to 1.6 of tension BE. Then summation forces horizontal TBC cosine 30 degrees plus TBE times 3 over 5 equals 100. Substituting the value of TBC, which is 1.6 of TBE, then plus TBE times 3/5 equals 100. So the tension in BE is equal to 50.36 pounds, and this is less than 100 pounds, so that's okay. So the assumption is AB is the most critical cable. So we assign its tension to be that condition here, which is 100 pounds. Then we compute the tension in BC, which is 1.6 times 50.36, and that is still less than 100 pounds. So the assumption is correct. They are safe. Then we proceed to joint E. This is the free body diagram. So first, summation versus horizontal to solve for T tension in ED. So tension ED cosine 30 degrees equals tension BE, which is 50.36 times 3 over 5. So tension ED, summation versus horizontal, that's the equation, is 34.89, which is less than 100 pounds. So that's fine. Okay, then finally, summation versus vertical equals 0 at E. So WE is the vertical component of tension ED and BE. So summation versus Y, tension BE 50.36 times 4 over 5, that's the vertical component, plus vertical component of tension ED, which is 34.89 sine of 30 degrees, and that is equal to WE. So WE is equal to 57.73 pounds. Problem 16, the 680 kilogram load suspended from the helicopter is in equilibrium. The aerodynamic drag force on the load is horizontal, so it's along x-axis. The y-axis is vertical and the cable OA lies in the xy plane. So that means OA is on the xy plane. The drag force, because it is horizontal, is also on the xy plane. And the weight is also directed to the negative y-axis and also in the xy plane. So this is a 2D problem. So the free body diagram would look as the following. The weight 680 times 9.81, then we have tension OA and the drag force going to the left D. So summation forces vertical equals 0 to solve for tension OA. So tension OA cosine of 10 degrees minus 680 times 9.81 equals 0. So tension OA is equal to 6,774 newtons. Summation forces horizontal equals 0. So we have negative drag force plus tension OA, which is 6,774 sine of 10 degrees equals 0. So the drag force is 1,176 newtons. Problem 17, determine the mass of each of the two cylinders if they cause a sag of S 0.5 meter when suspended from the rings A and B. Note that S is 0 when the cylinders are removed. So take note also that the system is symmetrical, so only one free body diagram is needed. Let us choose A. The FBD would look as shown. So that's tension AB. That force in the spring is tension, of course, because this is the unstretched length. The final length is greater than the original unstretched length. And to solve for mg, we set up the equation summation forces y at A. So T cosine 45 degrees minus is equal to mg. Then to solve for T, it is spring constant 100 times change in length delta L. Delta L is final length of the spring minus the unstretched length of the spring. That happens when the cylinders are removed. So this is the position. So the unstretched length of the spring is square root of 2 square plus 1.5 square, while the final length of the spring is, because this is 0.5, so this is 2 meters, so square root of 2 square plus 2 square. So delta L is square root of 2 square plus 2 square minus square root of 2 square plus 1.5 square, and that is equal to 0.3284 meters. So the tension force in the spring is 100 Newton per meter times 0.3284, and that is equal to 32.84 newtons. Substitute above. 32.84 cosine 45 equals m times 9.81. So the mass of each cylinder is 2.367 kilograms. Problem 18, the pail and its contents have a mass of 60 kilograms. If the cable BEL is 15 meters long, determine the distance y, this distance, of the pulley at A for equilibrium. Neglect the size of the pulleys. So let's have the free body diagram, and that's the free body diagram. This is the mass 60, so the weight is 60 times g. Then I'll call this for part x. So this is y minus 2. This is 10 minus x as shown. Then the analysis is that since the tension on each side is equal, the horizontal component of tension on each side should also be equal. Summation forces x must also be 0 because the system is in equilibrium. And that happens when, because the tension on each side is the same, that happens when this angle is also equal to that angle theta as shown. So for the satisfaction of the length of the cable BAL, so this is square root of x squared plus quantity y minus 2 square plus this length AL, square root of quantity 10 minus x square plus y square equals 15. So this is our working equation. Square root of x square plus y minus 2 quantity square plus square root of quantity 10 minus x square plus y square equals 15. So to relate x, or to express x in terms of y, let's have these two similar triangles. So by tangent, y minus 2 over x equals y as to 10 minus x, cross multiply y minus 2 times 10 minus x equals xy, then distribute 10 and x, so this is 10 times quantity y minus 2 minus xy plus 2x equals xy. Transpose this 2 into the right, so we have 10 times y minus 2 equals 2x y minus 2x. Then factor out 2x, so we have 2x times quantity y minus 1 equals 10 times quantity y minus 2 divided by 2. So x is 5 quantity y minus 2 over y minus 1. We substitute this into this working equation here so that we can solve for y using your high-tech calculator. So square root of quantity 5 quantity y minus 2 over y minus 1 square plus quantity y minus 2 square plus square root of quantity 10 minus 5 y minus 2 over y minus 1 quantity square plus y square equals 15. So using your high-tech calculator, you just set y equal to greater than 2 so that this is positive. So let us say 3. So y is 6.590 meters. Problem 19, suppose that you want to apply a 1,000 pound force F, which is this, at point A in a direction such that the resulting tensions in cables AB, AC, and AD are equal. So determine the components of F. So for the free body diagram, so let's have that designations and we treat all these tensions equal to T. The symbol is T. So tension AB equals plus tension AC plus tension AD plus F equals 0. So vector sum is 0 or resultant is 0. So tension AB is equal to tension AC, tension AD. Let's just call it T. So for the vector representation of AB, tension AB is equal to T times quantity 6 minus 12I plus 0 minus 4K plus J plus 0 minus 2K over square root of 6 square plus 4 square plus 2 square. Simplifying, tension AB is equal to T times negative 6I minus 4J minus 2K over square root of 56. Tension AC is equal to T quantity 0 minus 12I plus 4 minus 4J plus 6 C plus 0 minus plus 6 minus 2K over square root of 12 square plus 0 square plus 4 square. So tension AC is equal to tension times quantity negative 12I plus 0J plus 4K over square root of 160. Tension AD is tension T quantity 0 minus 12 I6 minus 4J plus quantity 0 minus 2K over square root of 12 square plus 2 square plus 2 square. So tension AD is tension quantity negative 12I plus 2J minus 2K over square root of 152. So summation forces X equals 0. So X components of these forces equate to 0. So that would be negative 6t over square root of 56. Then negative 12t over square root of 160. Negative 12t over square root of 152 plus Fx equals 0. So Fx is equal to 2.724 of t. Then for the y component, um, negative 4t over square root of 56 plus 0t over 0t over square root of 160 plus 2t over square root of 152 plus fy equals 0. So fy is equal to 0.3723 of t. Then for the z component, summation forces z 0. So it is negative 2t over square root of 56 plus 4t over square root of 160 minus 2t over square root of 152 plus fz equals 0. So fz is equal to 0.11325 of t. So take note that the magnitude of the force F is 1,000 pounds. So that means sum of squares of these components of F should be 1,000 square. That is 2.724 t quantity square plus 0.3723 t quantity square plus quantity 0.11325 t square equals 1,000 square. Solving for T is equal to 363.42 pounds. So Fx is 2.723 times 362.42, and that's equal to 990.0 pounds. That's the x component of F. The y component of F is 0.3723 times 363.42, and that's equal to 135.3 pounds. Then for the z component, 0.11325 times 363.42, and that's equal to 441.16 pounds. So that's it for this problem. Problem 20. The system shown anchors a stanchion of a cable suspended roof. If the tension in cable AB is 900 kilonewtons, what are the tensions in cables EF and EG? So let's have the free body diagram of portion B. So that's 900 kilonewtons. So in vector form, 900 kilonewtons is 900 times 1.4 I over 1.4. So that's 900 I. Simply, it is directed towards the x-axis. Then tension BC is magnitude of tension BC, quantity 2.2 minus 2, so zero point 0.2 I, then 0 minus 1 negative J, 1 minus 0 positive K, over, so tension BC is tension BC, zero point 0.2 I minus J plus K over square root of zero point 0.2 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. And that is equal to tension BC, magnitude, quantity 0.1400 I minus 0.7001 J, then plus 0.7001 K. Tension BD is 2.2 minus 2, so that's still zero point 0.2 I, 0 minus 1 negative J, then negative 1 minus 0 negative K, all over square root of zero point 0.2 square plus 1 square plus 1 square. And that is equal to tension BD, quantity 0.1400 I, negative 0.7001 J, negative 0.7001 K. Then tension BE, so 1 minus 2, so it is equal to tension BE times quantity 1 minus 2I, so negative I, 1.2 minus 1.2 J, 0 minus 0, 0K. So tension BE quantity negative I, 1 minus 2, so negative 1I, 1.2 minus 1, positive 0.2 J, then 0 minus 0, so 0K, over square root of 1 square plus zero point 0.2 square plus 0 square. So that would be tension BE times quantity negative 0.9806 I plus 0.1961 J. So we now sum up forces X equals 0. So 0.14 tension BC plus 0.14 tension BD minus 0.9806 tension BE equals plus 900 equals 0, so equals negative 900, equation 1. For the y component, negative 0.7001 tension BC, negative 0.7001 tension BD, then 0.1961 tension BE equals 0, equation 2. Then for the z component, 0.7001 tension BC minus 0.7001 tension BD, then plus 0 tension B equals 0, equation 3. Solving these three equations simultaneously, we get tension BC equals 133.9 kilonewtons, tension BD 133.9 kilonewtons, and tension BE equals 956 kilonewtons. So when we proceed to E, tension BE would now be rightward. So it is the negative of tension BE. So tension EB this time is equal to 956. Then we just change the sign of that direction. So this becomes positive and this becomes negative as shown. So tension AB is 937.45 I, then minus 187.47 J. So that's it for that part. Then summate tension, let's define tension EF. So it is magnitude of tension EF 0 minus 1, so negative I 1.4 minus 1.2.2 J 2 minus 0, so 1.2 minus 0, so 1.2 K over square root of 1 square plus 0.2 square plus 1.2 square. Simplifying, that's equal to tension EF times negative 0.635 I plus 0.127 J plus 0.762 K. Tension EG is magnitude of tension EG, quantity 0 minus 1, so negative I, 1.4 minus 1.2, positive 0.2 J, negative 1.2 minus 0, so negative 1.2 K over square root of 1 square plus zero point 0.2 square plus 1.2 square. Simplifying, that is equal to tension EG, quantity negative 0.635 I plus 0.127 J minus 0.762 K. So let's continue this, bringing this on the next slide. So we note that tension EB is equal to 937.45 I minus 187.47 J. Tension EF is equal to tension EF magnitude times negative 0.635 I plus 0.127 J plus 0.762 K, and tension EG is magnitude of tension EG, quantity negative 0.635 I plus 0.127 J minus 0.762 K. So for the X component, we have negative 0.635 tension EF, negative 0.635 tension EG, plus 937.45 equals 0. So plus 937.45 equals 0. So transpose this to the right. So that's why you have negative 937.45, equation 4. Now, if we equate the z component, the equation would be the same because we have 0.127, 0.127, and we equate it supposedly to negative 187.47. The two equations will have same coefficients, so therefore it is an inconsistent equation, so there will be no solution. So except that, or multiple solutions rather, except that we have to consider the z component, so equal 0, because this tension AB has no z component. So 0.762 tension EF minus 0.762 tension EG equals 0. So solving equations 4 and 5 simultaneously, we get tension EF equal to tension EG 738.1 kilonewtons. Problem 21, cable AB is suspended or is attached to the top of the vertical 3-meter post, and its tension is 50 kilonewtons. So what are the tension in cables AO, AC, and AD? So for the free body diagram, let's consider the following as shown. Tension AB, the magnitude is 50, then quantity 12 minus 6I, then plus 3 minus 2, so 1J, then 0 minus 0K. So tension AB is 50 times quantity 6I plus J over square root of 6 square plus 1 square plus 0 square, where 6 is 12 meters minus 6. So 6I. Then 3 meters, B is above 3 meters, A is only 2 meters. So 3 minus 2, 1J, then 0 minus 0K. So that is simplifying. Tension AB is equal to 49.32I plus 8.220 kJ kilonewtons. Tension AO is 0 minus 6. So magnitude of tension AO, then 0 minus 6, so negative 6I, 0 minus 2, negative 2J, 0 minus 0, 0K over square root of 6 square plus 2 square plus 0 square, and that is equal to tension AO times negative 0.9487 I minus 0.3162 J. Tension AC is 0 minus 6. So magnitude of tension AC, then 0 minus 6, negative 6I, 8 minus 2, positive 6J, then 5 minus 0, positive 5K. So tension AC is negative 6I plus 6J plus 5K over square root of 6 square plus 6 square plus 5 square. Simplifying, tension AC is magnitude of tension AC quantity negative 0.6092I plus 0.6092J plus 0.5077K kilonewtons. Then tension AD is magnitude of tension AD, then quantity 0 minus 6, so negative 6I, 4 minus 2, positive 2J, negative 5 minus 0, negative 5K. So tension AD is negative 6I, positive 2J, negative 5K over square root of 6 square plus 2 square plus 5 square. Simplifying, that's the magnitude of tension AD times quantity negative 0.7442I plus 0.2481J, then minus 0.6202K. Then summation forces X equals 0. So that would be negative 0.9478 TAO, negative 0.6092 tension AC, then negative 0.7442 tension AD, then plus 49.32 equals 0. So transpose 49.32 to the right, so negative 49.32. Equation 1. Summation forces y equals 0.6092 tension AC, tension AO rather, negative 0.6162 tension AO, then positive 0.6092 tension AC, then positive 0.2481 tension AD plus 8.220 equals 0. So transpose this to the right, negative 8.220. Call that equation 2. Then finally, summation forces along Z. AO has no Z component. So it is zero point 0.5. It is 0 tension AO plus 0.5077 tension AC plus negative 0.6202 tension AD plus 0 equals 0. So equation 3, solving equations 1, 2, and 3 simultaneously, we get tension AO 43.32 kilonewtons, tension AC 6.745 kilonewtons, and tension AD 5.522 kilonewtons. So I want to solve for tension AO directly by summing up moments about axis CD. And let's do that on the next slide. So as promised, let's solve tension AO directly by summing up moments about axis CD so that the other tensions AC and AD won't be involved in this equation. So that's the deal, so that there will be no moment for cable tensions AC and AD about CD. And remember that we have to consider only AO and 50 kilonewtons. So that is R, I choose point C on the axis. So RCO cross tension AO, although you can choose R CA tension AO, then that unit vector of axis CD. So I just choose RCO cross tension AO, then that the unit vector axis vector CD, then plus RCA. There's no other way. You can also have RCB if you want, but I just select RCA cross the tension in AB, then that lambda of axis CD. So summation moment axis CD is 0. Let's show that we can solve directly the tension in AO just to recall the expression for moment about an axis. So this is RCO cross tension AO that lambda of axis CD plus RCA cross tension AB that lambda unit vector of CD equals 0. So there are options for this equation. There are options. We can have RCA instead cross tension AO. Then you can also have our DO, DO cross tension AO, replacing this. For CA, you can have RCA, you can have RCB cross tension AB if you want. So there are many options, but I'll just present these expressions. So what is the unit vector of CD? CD is from C to D, so that would be negative 10I, then going down negative 8 minus 4, negative 4j, square root of 10 square plus 4 square, or that's square root of 4 square plus 10 square. So 116, sorry. Going down along y, so that's 8, uh, that's going down 8 or 4 minus 8, 4 minus 8, negative 4j. Then going backward, because this is the z-axis. So going backward, so negative 5 minus 5, negative 10k over square root of 4 square plus 10 square, so that's square root of 116. Then CO is 0 minus 0, so 0 along x, then along y, 0 minus 8, so negative 8, it's going down also, CO. Then along z, 0 minus 5, so negative 5k. So tension AO, this equation is, I just factor out tension AO for the components of tension AO. So for CO, 0 minus 0, so 0. Then 0 minus 8, negative 8. Then 0 minus positive 5, so negative 5. These are the components of tension AO from the preceding slide, negative 0.5487 tension AOI, then negative 0.3162 tension AOJ. There's no Z component of that force. Then the unit vector 0I then negative 4 over square root of 116, then negative 10 over square root of 116, then copy the elements of the first two columns. For this expression, C to A, so that would be 6 minus 0, so 6I, then 2 minus 8, negative 6J, then 0, minus 5, negative 5K. So quantity 6, negative 5, components of AB 49.32, 8.22, no Z component. Then the unit vectors 0, negative 4 over 160, square root of 116, negative 10 over square root of 116. Copy the elements of the first two columns. Then expand, that is 0, 0. Then this is the first calculation. Tension AO times negative of this product, then minus 0, 0, then positive because negative of negative is positive. So it is tension AO times quantity negative, the product of these entries, negative 1.762, then minus negative, so that's positive, the product of these diagonal entries, 7.047. Then plus uh, this quantity here, 0, then this quantity positive. So negative 45.792, don't mind because it's 0, then negative 5 times 49.32 times negative 4 over square root of 116 is 91.585, then minus 0, 0, then minus this value which is positive. So minus of positive is negative. So negative 10 square root of 116 times 49.32 times negative 6, then it's negative. So negative 274.755 equals 0. So combining 5.285 TAO equals transpose to the right 228.962. Computing for TAO, it is equal to 43.32 kilonewtons, which is the same value of TAO using the summation forces case. And this is summation of moment about an axis. So you can also do this if you want to practice for, if you want to solve for tension AC, for example, then you should sum up moments about axis OD if you want axis OD. Then likewise, if you want to solve for tension in AC independent, problem 22, if the mass of the flower pot is 50 kilograms, determine the tension developed in each wire for equilibrium. Set X 2 meters and Z 1.5 meters. So you look at the orientation of the axis X, Y, Z. So 2 meters, 1.5 Z meters. So let's set up tension AC. It is magnitude of tension AC, then 2 minus 0, so 2I. That's the FBD. This is the weight. So tension AC times quantity 2I, then 0 minus 6, negative 6J, 3 minus 0, positive 3K over square root of 2 square plus 6 square plus 3 square. Simplifying, that's equal to magnitude of tension AC, quantity 2I minus 6J plus 3K over 7. Tension AD, that's AD, is along X, negative 2 minus 0, so negative 2I, then 0 minus 6, negative 6J, then 1.5 minus 0, positive 1.5K over square root of 2 square plus 6 square plus 1.5 square. Simplifying, that's tension AD magnitude, then negative 2, negative 6J plus 1.5K over 6.5. Then these two tensions are enough because we plan to sum up forces along X only and along Z axis. Then we can calculate because tension AB has only Y component. So X and Z equals 0. So for the summation forces X, we have 2 over 7 tension AC, then negative 2 over 6.5 tension AD equals 0. Then for summation forces along Z, 3 over 7 tension AC plus 1.5 over 6.5 tension AD minus 50 times 9.81 equals 0 or equals 50 times 9.81, equation 2. Solving equations 1 and 2 simultaneously, we get tension AC 763 newtons and tension AD equal to 708.5 newtons. Having found this, we can now compute tension AB. Tension AB plus the components which are negative equals 0, or tension AB would be the positive Y components of these two. So they are negative here, negative 6 over 7 tension AC, negative 6 over 6.5 tension AB. But supposedly tension AB, which is positive, plus the negatives equal 0. So we just transpose them to the right, they become positive. So tension AB is 763 times 6 over 7. This is originally negative 6 over 7. Then plus 708.5 times, this is originally negative 6, so transpose to the right. That's why it is positive 6 over 6.5. So solving for tension AB, it is equal to 1,308 newtons. So for the last problem, the ends of the three cables are attached to a ring at A and to the edge of the uniform plate. Determine the largest mass the mass can have if its cable can support a maximum tension of 15 kilonewtons. So first, let's have the free body diagram and observe the orientation of the axis. So this is X, Y, and Z. So let's write the vector form of tension BA. So it is magnitude of tension BA. It is directed backward by, because this is 2 and this is 6, so backward by 4, negative 4i. Rightward along y by 6, so positive 6j. Then upward by 12, so 12k. So tension BA is equal to magnitude of tension BA times negative 4i, positive 6j, positive 12k over square root of 4 square 6 square plus 12 square. And that is equal to, simplifying, tension BA is magnitude of tension BA, quantity negative 2i plus 3j plus 6k over 7. Next, for tension CA, it is going forward along X by 6, so 6i, along Y to the right, that distance, which is 6 minus 2, positive 4j, then upward positive 12k. So positive 6i plus 4j plus 12k. So tension CA, positive 6i plus 4j plus 12k over square root of 6 square plus 4 square plus 12 square, and that is, after simplification, magnitude of tension CA 3i plus 2j plus 6k over 7. Then tension DA, so along X going forward 4, so 4i, along Y to the left negative 6j, then upward 12k. So tension DA is magnitude of tension DA, quantity positive 4i, negative 6j, positive 12k over square root of 4 square plus 6 square plus 12 square, and that is tension DA, quantity 2i minus 3j plus 6k over 7. Then, of course, this is going down negative mg k, this one. So, summation versus x equals 0. So, x component of BA, negative 2 over 7 tension BA, plus 3 over 7 tension CA, plus 2 over 7 tension DA equals 0. Call that equation 1. Summation forces along y equals 0. So 3 over 7 tension BA plus 2 over 7 tension CA minus 3 over 7 tension DA equals 0. Equation 2 then. Finally, summation forces along Z equals 0. So take note that this is negative mg, then equals 0. So we transpose that to the right. It is mg in the right side of the equation. So it is 6 over 7 tension BA plus 6 over 7 tension CA plus 6 over 7 tension DA equals mg. Equation 3. Solving these three equations simultaneously, we get tension BA equals 7 over 12 mg, tension CA 0, and tension DA equal to 7 over 12 mg also. So there's no higher value of mg except that these two are equal. So supposedly if these two tensions are not equal and we set the bigger value to the capacity of 15,000 because that's the critical cable tension. So we equate 7 over 12 m times 9.81 to 15,000 newtons. So 15,000 newtons is 7 over 12 m times 9.81. From there, we can now solve for m, and m is 2,621 kilograms. So that's it for this video.